Hi everyone, this is Anna with my Arabic Anna channel. I hope everyone's having a happy Ramadan. Ramadan Kareem, Eid Mubarak, Ramadan Saeed, Happy Ramadan, Hello Ramadan, whatever else people say, Bon Ramadan. So I'm in Morocco, so today was the first day of Ramadan. I'm not Muslim and I'm not participating in Ramadan because I'm not Muslim, so I wouldn't be fasting because you would obviously want a reason to participate. However, I live in Morocco and I have a lot of friends who are Muslim and are participating, so I wanted to make a video for anyone who speaks English and wanted to learn more about Morocco, learn more about Ramadan, and learn more in general about the holiday. So please share this video with any friends you have from other countries that would like to learn more about Ramadan and that speak English. So sorry if you speak French or Spanish and want to know, but hopefully you can get the idea. So some of these ideas were taken from BBC. So you can check out an article which I linked below, and I also linked some of the questions and things below, and I also tried to do some translations too. Yeah. But they're not very good translations, and it's just really some notes that I took, and it's not very organized, so the video is probably better, hopefully, and I hope you like the video, and I hope wherever you are that you're having a great Ramadan. If you're celebrating, if you're a Muslim, I hope you're enjoying your time with your family or with friends or whoever, and I hope that you're not alone, because I know that can be really hard right now. So yeah, Ramadan is the Arabic name for the 9th month in the Islamic calendar. So Ramadan is part of the Islamic calendar, part of the moon calendar, the lunar calendar. It's considered one of the holiest months in Islam. It's one of the 5 pillars of Islam. These are very important and they're compulsory, meaning that they're mandatory and they're directed by God. Fasting is like an act of worship, and that you should spend the time to work on spiritual health, self-discipline, and feeling closer to God. There's a meal early in the morning between 4 and 5:30 a.m. depending on the day and where you live. It's called suhoor. And then at breakfast, in English, breakfast means breaking the fast. And like that, there's a meal right after the sunset. It's called iftar or fitur, depending on where you live. So during this month, there's also an additional prayer that happens at night called the tarawih. Sorry for my pronunciation. This prayer is held only during Ramadan. And if you're not familiar, Muslims go and they pray in the mosque 5 times a day. Sorry if I messed up any information so far. Please feel free to correct me below. Again, that prayer is held only during Ramadan, and it's held at night when people aren't fasting anymore, so it's an additional time to come together and pray. However, right now in Morocco, there's a curfew going on, so I think people are praying in their homes because everything in Morocco closes at 8 p.m. across the board. Of course, you can still hear the call to prayer. Today was the first day of Ramadan. It was the first full day of fasting. The days leading up to Ramadan, even in the last 2 weeks, some people do some fasting. Some people are just getting in the spirit, kind of like how Americans get in the spirit of Christmas. There was another Eid that some people chose to fast for a couple of weeks ago. Some people may have to miss some days, whether they're traveling or if they're sick or something else. For women, if they get their period or their menstrual cycle, they also have to make up those days afterwards. So you may see people a few days out of the month, they may not be fasting. It might be for some personal reason. Of course, you shouldn't ask them. But yeah, I think that we also shouldn't shame people if they're not fasting, because they could have a reason for not. For example, they could be sick or pregnant or something else. It's best not to, just to mind your own business. So it will go for 29 or 30 days. A fun fact, in the year 2030, there will be 2 Ramadans in 1 year based off the lunar calendar. So that means in the year 2030, which is in 9 years, kind of crazy, I'll be kind of old then, and maybe this video will still be around. Yeah, there will be 2 Ramadans. The seeing of the moon happens in different times in different countries. So the first day of Ramadan varies. Obviously, the time of day varies since the sun sets at different times. For example, in America, there's Muslims and there's 3 different time zones. So some of them have not finished their fast yet. So maybe they're watching and they're really hungry. So I won't mention anything about food. The end of Ramadan, there's a big party, a big celebration called Eid al-Fitr. Maybe many of them go and have a large meal, more parties and celebrations, and a lot of them exchange money and gifts. And throughout all of Ramadan and during this Eid, there's a lot of charity or sadaqah that's given. So that's cool. So if anybody wants to give me a present, I'm here. I'm in Rabat. So this year, the Eid will fall on the on the 12th of May, or maybe the 13th of May. Obviously, I'm sure the celebrations will be affected by some of the curfew and things. Some interesting facts. So apparently in the Quran, it says that if it's unbearable, very hard to fast due to some reason, then you shouldn't fast, and then that your fast would be considered haram. For example, if you have some type of sickness or a condition, or I'm assuming if you're pregnant, I think that might be a reason, because obviously you shouldn't do that when you're pregnant, I think. Maybe it depends on when or how pregnant you are. Let's talk about traveling. So if you're fasting during a plane journey, the hours of your fast are not related from the country you departed from or the country you're going to. It should just be that you should break the fast whenever you physically see the sunset, and there's some rules about that. I'm not really sure what exact details were in the Quran because obviously there was no planes back then. A lot of people say you should, if you travel more than 80 kilometers per day, then you should not fast on that day, and then you would make it up. I've heard some people say no, or some people just choose to fast anyway. I participated last year 2 years ago, and I just decided to continue to fast because, what was I going to do? I was on a bus all day, so I wasn't going to just eat on the bus in front of everyone. That's another thing that I always discuss with people is like, should you eat in front of other people, or drink or do other things? I personally don't, because it's just trying to be like a time where you're supposed to self-discipline and be with God. And I see a lot of people on the streets like sitting quietly and like maybe they're reading the Quran or doing something, so they're by themselves. And like, it's just better, I think, in my opinion, to just not do that and just not eat in front of people. And just, if you aren't fasting, then maybe just go eat in your home. I'm pretty sure that if you're not a foreigner, it's also illegal to eat during Ramadan in public places. So yeah, you guys can also discuss that below. Even still, like for example, some days when I was like traveling or I was sick or I have like different things in the different Ramadans that I've been a part of in Morocco, I've seen people like serve other people. And of course, if you have children or young people or sick people, you would want to feed them. So, you would be seeing them eat. So I think it just all depends on the situation. So any general rule about other items, for example, if it doesn't go inside of your throat, then it's usually fine to have during Ramadan. For example, chewing gum. Some people say no. Some people are like, oh, did the gum have a flavor? Did you swallow the gum? I'm not really sure on that one, actually. So if anybody wants to talk about gum, let me know. Mouthwash, or like taking something and just like gargling, washing hands, taking water, like things like that. People say that it's okay, I think, that you should rinse your mouth out because you want to continue to be clean throughout the day, but make sure you spit it out right away. Can you kiss your wife or your husband? General rule is it's okay, but be careful. That's another thing, is that besides all of the food and other things, just abstaining, not being a part of any type of pleasure. So not having any sex or not doing anything related to any sexual behavior is also not allowed during Ramadan. Another question people ask is, can you listen to music? So some people say yes, some people say no. I think it also applies to the TV and maybe the radio and just other forms of media. What about watching YouTube? Like this video. Some people say yes, some people say no. The Quran makes no explicit mention of music, but some people hear different things, like talks and certain things like singing. Others don't, whistling, like that. Okay, swimming during Ramadan, also okay as long as you don't drink any water. Taking showers, also okay during your fasting. A lot of people, I just saw something really weird. Smoking, no. So one thing I really like is during Ramadan, all the cafes during the day are closed, and usually the cafes are filled with a lot of people, mostly men, smoking. And there's just a lot of smoke on the streets, and to me, honestly, I'm not a smoker, so it feels really gross. And I have my little dog with me, and I don't like all that smoke. So during Ramadan, there's no smoke. Sleeping in late, you're supposed to wake up and you're supposed to go to work and do your day like normally. However, I know a lot of people will sleep in late and stay up late, but isn't that just like instead of fasting, you are just sleeping all day and then eating at night? So did you really fast? Maybe that's cheating. I don't know. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. If you have any questions or didn't understand any of the words, sorry I spoke kind of fast, but the video is already going to be 12 minutes long. Please comment below. I'll be happy to talk with you again. Have a great Ramadan. This is day 1 of Ramadan. I will try to make some more videos because I think that will be fun. A lot of vloggers in America, they do videos for each day of Christmas, so I was thinking I would do one for each day of Ramadan, although I'm not sure what I'll talk about yet. If anyone has any ideas, please comment below.